The exotic superfruit craze of the early to mid-2010s brought us a whole host of unfamiliar fruits from around the world. While many of these were just hype and didn't really live up to their promise, some were genuinely worthy additions to the Western diet. One of these was dragon fruit, a spiky, vibrant pink sphere that looks like something out of a fantasy novel. Dragon fruit is not actually a fruit, it's technically a type of cactus. Now, before you click off the video in disgust, hear me out. There are a lot of things that aren't technically fruits, but which we still eat as fruits. In its native habitat, it can climb into the canopy of tall trees, while in cultivation, it's usually trained to grow on an arbor or along a fence. The flat paddle-like segments of the stems are covered in small, soft spines, which are more irritating than dangerous. It's about 96% water, and the rest is mostly carbs, fiber, and a smattering of vitamins and minerals. This helps keep your digestive system healthy and regular, promotes the growth of beneficial gut bacteria, and helps you feel full during meals. It's especially good for those who suffer from constipation or other digestive disorders. However, it does contain high levels of lycopene, which is the pigment that gives tomatoes their red color and is a very powerful antioxidant. When freeze-dried and extracted, the mucilage contains a number of different bioactive compounds, some of which show antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer properties. While this is certainly promising, it's worth remembering that correlation does not equal causation. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more great content. Thanks for watching. See you next time. It's a low-calorie, low-fat, low-sugar fruit that's loaded with nutrients and has some potential health benefits. It's definitely not the magical cure-all that some people might claim it to be, but it is a delicious, nutritious fruit that's well worth adding to your diet. Just because a lab study shows that certain compounds isolated from dragon fruit have antimicrobial properties doesn't necessarily mean that eating dragon fruit will help fight off bacterial or viral infections. Human clinical trials need to be conducted before we can say that dragon fruit has genuine therapeutic properties. Red fruits are particularly rich in lycopene and other antioxidants such as beta-carotene, and the pulp contains a number of different polyphenols. But is it truly the superfood that many people make it out to be? Well, maybe, maybe not. The reality is that the term superfood is a marketing term, not a scientific one. Growing up, I had dragon fruit growing on my grandma's farm. Every summer when I visited her farm, I would come home with scratches and scrapes on my arms and legs from where I debrushed up against the thorny vines. But I always had a few dragon eggs tucked under my shirt. I would pop open a fruit or two and eat the flesh straight from the rind, juice dripping down my mouth and hands. For me, dragon fruit will always hold a special place in my heart. Even though it didn't have any significant impact on my health, it does hold fond memories. There is no official definition of what a superfood is, and it carries no legal weight. This means that companies can slap the term superfood on anything they want, regardless of whether or not it is actually a nutritional powerhouse. But here's the thing. While antioxidants are beneficial to our health in small doses, studies have shown that taking antioxidant supplements does not improve health outcomes and might even be harmful. There's no reason to believe that eating dragon fruit would cause harm, but it's probably not going to confer any additional health benefits beyond a normal healthy diet either. Beneath the spines are two types of spines, one white and one black. The white ones are called glycids and are responsible for the intense itchiness you may feel after contact with the plant. They embed themselves in your skin and break off in the process, leaving tiny, irritating tips that are difficult to remove. The black spines are much more easily dealt with, but both types of spine should be washed off immediately after coming into contact with them, as they become increasingly painful and itchy the longer they remain on the skin. Tomatoes, avocados, and even cucumbers are all botanically classified as fruits, but are savory rather than sweet. On the color of the flesh inside the rind, if it's white, then expect a mildly flavored, crunchy, and juicy flesh, reminiscent of a slightly acidic watermelon. Yellow-fleshed varieties tend to be a little sweeter than the white-fleshed ones, while red-fleshed varieties tend to be the sweetest and most aromatic of the bunch. They also have the most intense pigment, and are often used as a natural food coloring. So if we can accept these as fruits, I don't see why we couldn't also accept dragon fruit. But what actually is it? Is this strange fruit an actual superfood? Or is it all just hype? Well, the correct name for this fruit is actually pitaya, which is derived from the Spanish word for a hole in a wall, which is itself derived from the Mayan word for the fruit. The fruit is native to the Americas, specifically Mexico, Central America, and northern South America. Today it's grown commercially in many other tropical and subtropical regions around the world, including Southeast Asia where it goes by the name of mangus, or in Africa where it's known as the white peach. This is because when you cut through the skin of a mature fruit, it often has a cavity in the middle. However, in English-speaking countries, the fruit is almost always referred to as dragon egg fruit, or simply dragon fruit. This is thanks to the dragon egg-shaped appearance of the fruit. Let's dig into the science of dragon fruit to find out. As always, if you do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more great content. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. But if it's not a fruit, then what is it? In fact, there is evidence that people in the Americas have been eating pitahaya for thousands of years with archaeological evidence of its consumption dating back to 7000 BC. The dragon fruit plant can grow as a climbing or trailing cactus. Now, on to the part you've probably been waiting for. What does dragon fruit taste like? Well, it depends. Now, as far as nutrition goes, dragon fruit isn't going to set any records. Another thing worth mentioning is that dragon fruit is a good source of dietary fiber. One of the most interesting things about dragon fruit is the potential therapeutic use of the mucilage found in the pulp. So now we know what dragon fruit is, and we know what it tastes like, and we know some of its nutritional properties. That being said, dragon fruit does have a number of positive attributes. For those of you who've made it this far, I want to share one last thing about dragon fruit. If you enjoyed this video,